Hello, and welcome to the third part of the second episode. So yeah, it's the final part with Savvas. Um, I hope you've enjoyed the previous two. And yeah, I just just every time I come away from talking to this guy, I'm always amazed at how much his knowledge is just widespread about just generally everything. Um, and yeah, he just I just come away with a new kind of brighter perspective on life. And that's something I hope that you find too when you listen to our chats. Um, yeah, we're gonna you might hear a lot from him. So yeah, I hope you like the sound of his voice, and I hope you like the sound of our conversations. Because yeah, he's got a fantastic kind of way of viewing the world. Um, I just thought I'd touch on a couple of things that I've watched and and done this week. So I finished reading a book called Eleanor Oliphant is Completely Fine, and it was a really fantastic book that touched on these kind of ideas of loneliness and friendship and I suppose you would even say kind of past traumas and how they can affect the present. And yeah, just how kind of sort of not unconscious but unaware of how much something in the past could influence you in the present. And it just made me think quite a lot, and it's also incredibly funny and incredibly humorous. And she's a really fantastic character. So yeah, if you're ever, I don't know, if you've ever heard about the book, or friends got it, or you're in a charity shop and you see it around, I would definitely get it. It's well worth a read. I also sat down this week with a couple of friends and watched a film called The Lobster, which was rather odd, but at the same time it was just something completely different that I don't think I'd ever seen before. So yeah, it was a really fantastic film. If you're below 18, I would definitely hold off until you reach that magic milestone, because there's some topics in there and some stuff that is a bit over and above. So, but yeah, if you're over and above that age range, then I'd definitely give it a watch. And I suppose it's really hard to even. Oh well. I suppose they enter this program where they're trying to find a partner, but they're all not normal people. And yeah, it's just a really interesting film with a really interesting concept. So yeah, that's something that I enjoyed watching this week. And also, somebody told me to. I think it was Gemma told me to watch Dave Black live at the Brit Awards, and it was absolutely really kind of mind-blowingly amazing. The message behind the song, the way that the kind of song was produced, the way it sort of came across, the kind of 3D avenues that the piano was shown through. It was really quite something special. And yeah, as I said previously, the message behind it I think was quite prominent and quite prevalent as to what is going on for the black community at this current time and previously too. So yeah, if you've not seen it, I would highly recommend just whatever search engine you use or whatever medium you use to have a look at videos. Then yeah, just type in Dave Black at the Brit Awards 2020, and prepared to be blown away. And yeah, I mean, just a couple of things for this. With during this whole kind of COVID time, I know it's a very very awful, dreadful time. But I was cycling around this big bad city we call London, and I was seeing something that I'd not seen for ages, and that was kids that were actually playing out on the streets and actually kicking a ball in the road and on the pavements. And I thought, I mean, it's obviously a really bad time, this Corona thing, but to see that out was something I'd not seen literally for years. So yeah, there are some good things that can come out of this this mad time, along with the earth restoration and everyone taking a bit of a pause to try new things. So that was something that it's a really lovely thing to see. And And also all of those who donated money to get Destina, our friend Dusty, a new bike, because she was at work. So Dusty's a nurse during this time, and yeah, she went to work and someone nicked her bike from hospital, which it's just abhorrent anyway. But the fact it is during this time and during this period makes it even more just weird and strange and odd and all that kind of stuff. So our friend Anna set up a Just Giving page, and I think it was literally overnight it surpassed its target. So now she can get to work again. So yeah, all those who chipped in and got that bike, thank you very much. And it just shows again that there's a lovely community out there, and yeah, it's just really touching that just in the space of say like 10 hours that we're able to raise enough funds to get her a bike. So yeah, that's all I think to talk about from this week. This second episode, yeah, the final part with Savvas, we talk about being coached, and we talk about the benefits of having a coach, not necessarily a life coach, but yeah, it could be any kind of coach, but just somebody who you're willing to fail amongst, and you feel confident enough to do that. So we talk about the benefits of that. We also talk about this idea of possessiveness and sharing, and we have a couple of comments around that. And we also finish up on the subject of travel and travelling. And yeah, we also get a nice little intervention from Sav's lovely girlfriend. So yeah, don't get put off. It's just a little, comes in to say hi. But yeah, I just really hope you enjoy listening to this. Yeah, as I said before, you may be hearing a lot from him because we have these amazing conversations. So I just hope you get something from it, and I hope that the sun is literally and metaphorically shining for you wherever you are, and that you're having a good week. And this may have been a bit long, so if you like it, tell me. If you don't like it, tell me, and I can just keep it shorter and just get straight to the conversation. So yeah, I'll leave an email at the bottom just so you give me feedback and things, because it's all good. Feedback, criticism, praise, all of it is great. So it's this ever-evolving process of learning about this thing I'm trying to do and achieve. So yeah, I'll shut up and you can dive into the conversation. So yeah, thank you very much.
I think we're probably being coached by someone, I must say, is I mean also I'd say if you kind of in therapy as well, that's also a kind of great way to find it. But just have someone there that you're just totally okay to just fail and just be, I'm fucking useless, mate.
It also comes down to having trust. I think it's like having trust in other people. Trust in yourself firstly, obviously, but then it's like putting your trust in other people and being like, okay, I'm gonna entrust myself now with this person because I think he or she can do X, Y, and Z. What it might be.
Yeah, definitely. Well, have you I wonder have you experienced kind of? You know what? I was talking to my brother the other day, and he said he made a very good point. He said, so for example, with our martial arts coach, so me and him go to kind of MMA / self-defense every Monday, right? It's been a great kind of bonding process between us. Literally get as close and personal. He's punching me in the face, kind of, more every week. I'm literally like, oh fuck, I'll go and box with him now. His reach is like out here, right? He's really smart at boxing. I could totally overpower him in grappling, whatever. But in boxing, he just gets me so many times, right? But it's been such a great kind of bonding experience between us. And he made a good point. He said, we probably get more one-on-one time with Ibush than we do with our dad, right? And it's that consistency that you get with someone.
Yeah, right.
And he's hugely, you know, we spoke about getting him on a podcast. We certainly should.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Dude can talk about, he's got stories for anything. He's had such an interesting life. And he's got such, you know, kind of interesting ideals in life that I never would have got from my dad, for example.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
So, and it's the same, for example, with my gymnastics coach, Lee. Again, a totally different paradigm of coaching and kind of, you know, the way his message comes across, right?
But this is also, I think as well, where our society also falters, is if you look at hunter-gatherer societies, if you look at you know, sort of like tribes and native people, they didn't have one mum and one dad. They had 13 mums and 13 dads.
Exactly.
They had their
right,
people there because you know, like this one person has got a view on life and the way they see it. This other person, who it could be Uncle Jerry, or it could be, you know, just the guy who owns the shop, you know, he's got another view, and it's you know, you can most certainly learn something from them. And so yeah, I think it's important to have, you know, that dad over there and that person you can find, and that mum over there, and you know, I think it's vital to have, because you can learn so much off them.
But now it's like, that's my kid. Fuck off. Pretty much, isn't it?
Oh, literally, yeah. But then does that come from an attachment disorder in our society, that we need to harbour on to these people and we need to hold on to them? We can't let them fail, and we can't let them fall over, because, you know, they're our kids and we need to protect them. And
well, I feel like one thing that does make me sad about society nowadays is it's just so possessive.
But yeah, right.
It's just that those are my possessions.
Yeah.
Don't touch them. This is my money. This is my food. You know, and you know, I'm as guilty as anyone, right? And it's kind of you literally trying in life to hoard as much shit as you can to make it okay for a rainy day. Whereas if we all hoard, kind of
share,
maybe not hoarded it together, but you know, everyone
Communal.
hoarding stuff together is the same as no one hoarding, right?
Absolutely.
So if we kind of all did that a bit more, then
do you know who changed my mindset on that? Believe it or not, was Malik.
really,
When I was 20 or something, I was wandering around bare feet, because I was, you know, being a bit of a hippie, you know what I mean? And we were going out somewhere, and Malik lent me some shoes, you know, to get in wherever we were going. And I was like, oh, thanks, mate. And then so lent me some shoes, and then I went to give him back. He's like, no, you can keep them. It's okay, you can keep them.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, he's giving something away, and that feels really nice, like that. And I was like, okay, I'm gonna harbour that one. And then yeah, it's like the other day it was weeks and weeks ago, but I bought a hat, and then Dee's mum tried it on, and I was like, well, that looks better on me than it does on you, so that's yours. Or you know, or you know, we can now share that, you know. And it feels nice to share. It feels nice to give. It feels nice to offer something that is yours to someone else, and then, you know, it's like, well, it's ours. You know, it can just be shared around now.
So sometimes I think everyone needs to just take a deep breath and just let go. You know what I mean?
Do you know how you know the Red Hot Chili Peppers?
Yeah.
You know, and actually this was the original thing that changed my mind on that, was you know that song, give it away, give it away, give it away, now while I got you, gotta give it to your mama. The origins of that song was, the guy Anthony Kiedis was just in his flat, just sitting around, and his girlfriend came round, and then she tried on this jacket, and he was like, man, that looks really good on you, you know. And he was like,
It was his own jacket.
his own jacket, yeah. He's like, really good on you, and she was like, oh, thank you. And he was like, well, you can have it. And then from there he was like, oh, I just got to give it away. And then, yeah, okay, just give it away now. And it's just something as something as simple and beautiful led to, you know, a bloody good song, but also the kind of message behind it is it's really simple. Just literally, just honestly, just give it away, because
You're not gonna miss it.
No.
You like
no, not at all.
think of all the things that you really, really need.
Yeah,
really, genuinely
really.
need, you know, unless it's to really kind of make a living or I don't know. Yeah, like even if you gave away 99% of the cutlery or kitchen utensils or pots and pans, you would still figure out a way. You know what I mean?
You'll still be fine.
It totally cool. It'd be
Absolutely
like,
fine. But then what's also quite toxic is when people hold on to the fact that somebody once lost something or somebody once broke something, you know, and it's like they're really like, oh yeah, but that time you broke my such and such, or I gave you that thing, you didn't give it back to me, and it's like, just let it go. Like there's nothing you're benefiting from harboring that hate and that grudge. You're now in this constant judgment of that person because they once didn't give you back something or they lost something. Like what's the point? Just let it go.
Was that time when I dropped your cup in the toilet? Isn't it right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, literally.
I tell you what, I felt terrible. But then it also just, you know, because we're such good mates, I was like,
yeah.
And you're like, don't worry, mate, it's just a cup.
It is just a cup.
And I was like, yeah, I guess it is just a cup, isn't it?
Yeah. Even without that Budweiser wrapping, it's just a cup. It's cool.
It's just the cup, yeah. But I mean,
but it is though, isn't it? It's, you know, you at the time you do feel guilty. You really do. But it's like,
you kind of need that person to say, yeah. I mean, it's kind of like,
but also you don't. I think also something that we do as human society is we linger. We linger on that, you know. Oh fuck! He's dropped the cup in the toilet. Oh, what's he gonna think? Oh shit, it was his cup. He's brought that back from Brazil. Oh fuck! You know, he's had it for years. Oh, it's that cup. I can't believe what's he gonna think of me now. Is he ever gonna give me a cup again? Do you know what I mean? It's that like, and just why, like, honestly, offer your apologies, and then that's it.
Yeah. No, I'm really sorry, mate. I really didn't mean it.
And then you've done your part. Don't then think about what they might think about you. You've honestly done as much as you can do. You've made the mistake. You've owned up to it. You said sorry. You're honest about it. It
totally comes back to the same thing, though. Many people would just hate themselves for breaking some, you know, important thing that someone owned. You know, I broke someone's teapot. I don't know, a few months ago, and part of me was like, "Oh, I should really buy a new teapot." But she got another teapot, and you know, I didn't mean it. I said sorry.
Yeah,
like,
and this is also the tricky thing when like, this is why I don't generally spend a lot of a lot of money on things, because once you increase the money you spend on something, then that's then got a lot of worth. And then if someone breaks that or someone borrows it, well, for starters, you wouldn't be open to let someone borrow it anyway because it costs so much money.
So you're now less generous.
You've spent more money. You're now less generous, and when that thing does eventually, you're so possessive over this thing because you've increased the value you've spent on it. You're just not going to let anyone use it, and then when it does go, you're going to be so bitter about the fact it has gone for whatever reason it's gone. It's just like, well, just don't do it, really.
How do you feel about so I'm not one to kind of lend my clothes out to people, right? And pretty much because I don't know, just never had that much among friends.
Yeah.
You know, maybe for example with you, like if we go to a festival, you know, you probably, I don't have enough hippie clothes, so you.
There's the wardrobe. Go.
Anything that I wear that to work. Haven't been. Seriously, you wear that to work, bro? Yeah. But it's bright pink. It's got pink polka dots.
It's me though, isn't it?
Yeah.
You know. People know now. It's like, here it comes. Oh god.
So yeah, I mean, apart from that, I've never really had a lendy kind of relate. But so I'm not going to name names here, but I have a friend who pretty much fell out with another friend, or was fallen out multiple times, just because they lend their clothes to them, and they always just fuck them up.
Right. So
where do you stand on that? Like, how? At what point does your generosity kind of run out?
Do you know what? I don't honestly think I own any bit of clothing that I have that much purchase over that someone could have it, and then even if they did fuck it up, it's like, it's only a bit of
what if I just kept borrowing your clothes though? Like, we say we live together.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, I'm going out tonight. Do you mind if I borrow a shirt?
Okay.
Come back. Fucked. And then next week, Ryan, going out tonight. Do you mind if I borrow
Mm.
that shirt? And you quite like it. Like you can't tell me you don't have an attachment to some clothes that you got, right?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Well, have you? I think I might have said, or by the way, or at least brought it up. The fact of like, okay, if you've borrowed it, do you mind not like messing it up?
Fucking it up. And then say I fucked up again.
Say you fucked it up again. I'd probably say, hey, you've done it again. It's now the second time. Come on, let's think about this. But then, surely they would have then noticed the discomfort you may have, or they may harbour the discomfort that you now have at.
I mean, it just sounds. So I mean, these two people that fell out. It sounds like the other person just didn't get it, or just caught. Just that even doesn't have the capacity to keep any item of clothing they're wearing. They're always climbing up walls, rolling around the floor. I don't know.
I mean, okay. So now I'm going into the territory of I don't know, because I don't have any friends that would do that.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Can't comment. Yeah, I can't comment.
Yeah, no. I always wondered kind of where the line kind of stops with sharing stuff, or
I don't know. I mean,
or have you lending books? Maybe have you ever had someone you lent books to and they was just you never seen them again? If say it's a book you kind of wanted, or you wanted to reference, be like, I'll lend that to you, mate. Don't worry, as long as you give it back to me, because I kind of want to read it again.
No. If someone wants a book, then they can go for it. Like you've got Shantaram.
Yeah, still got it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Keep it until you finished.
Yeah. Haven't started yet.
It's a big book to get through.
You told me to read the audiobooks. I was like, oh fuck, maybe I should do that.
Yeah, I mean, it is a bloody good audiobook. It's well worth it.
Maybe I should do that. Yeah.
Bloody fab. So the way he puts on the accents and the way he really goes into it.
Yeah. No, I need to get on a good story, because I've been kind of balls deep, literally in the health and podcasty stuff.
Yeah. So this as well, I think, is where like you need some balance in what you're listening to and what you're doing. Because if you're, do you know, this girl, this lady Laura last night made a very interesting point, and she said she thinks it's very important that people at school, no matter whether you're technologically involved, whether you're your love of English or whatever it is, just whatever your subject is, you need a creative something. You need something to be creative in, because if you're just hell bent on software and you're hell bent on technology and and you don't have any of that sort of like creative spark to even process that, and it's going to be such a mundane kind of narrow part. So again, I like found myself getting balls deep in this like male thing, the male depression, the male view, the male standpoint, and I was like, God, I'm very like, I'm just very in it. And so I just, you just need to balance that out with something that's just an easy read and it's just an easy listen, and something you can just like just not switch off to, but just be like, it's a bit easier on the soul.
I don't know about you, but I always get to a point where I'm reading something, I'm really into a subject, and then it gets to another one. I'm like, I just don't need any more of this, mate.
Yes.
If I hear someone else talking about coronary heart disease again, I think I need a break from that right now.
Yeah. I think I'm coming to the limit with males and male depression, because I think I now harbour a good understanding of what we face and how we've been a bit obstructed so far, and obviously, and as well how to change. I now want to go into something completely different.
You get it? It's a problem, right?
Huge problem.
Solutions.
Here's the solutions. Done. Level complete. Well, obviously not complete, but level understood. And now comes the work.
It's funny. I was thinking, literally, maybe even today or yesterday, like part of my enjoyment in learning something, and I'm gonna say I imagine it's the same with you, but is kind of total immersion in that thing. Kind of deep dive into literally what it is. Like, for example, learning Spanish, go to Colombia, go to university, speak to everyone in Spanish. By the end of that, you're going to be
a very
good.
Brave thing to do. Very, very brave. So Savvas went with four of us. Yeah.
No, 5.
qualify.
Oh, the first time.
First time,
Yeah.
South America. We went to South America for the World Cup, and it was something we'd like arranged for so long, and then we you know, I think we were together for like 2 or 3 weeks, and then about 2 or 3 weeks in, you were like, I'm gonna go to Colombia. I'm just gonna go off to Colombia and do my own thing and not go to the World Cup. And you know, we like spoke about reasons why you did it, but just to do that. Like to have the balls to do that. I mean, like I was very much in this like pack mentality. Like, boys, keep together. We're in a foreign land. We need to all stick together because we're comrades in arms, you know. But you were like, actually, no. I'm gonna go off and literally immerse myself in what it is to be a Colombian. And it was a very admirable thing to do, I must say. I was talking about this last night to Jack, actually. Yeah, about how all of us really actually went off and did our own little bit, but yours was very much more.
You kind of did it at some point.
Oh yeah,
right?
we all did.
I remember
But
Jack was stuck in Lima for like.
Yeah, righto.
And that place is intense. Yeah.
But the things are, you actually literally went somewhere and, you know, completely immersed yourself in a culture for months. Learned Spanish, like.
It was good. Yeah.
But
I mean, I don't know if it was the balls to do it, but it was kind of yeah, maybe it does take
something.
balls. Also, just ignorance as well. Like, you know, I mean, because, you know, having gone back there for kind of 6 months, it was funny because when I left, I was actually like, oh, fuck. It's kind of like I liken it to doing a bungee jump, right? Once there's certain 2 types of people, I think, or maybe perhaps more, but I'm gonna say 2 brackets here. One is the type of person who really can psych themselves up to do a bungee jump.
Yeah.
Once they've done it, they've done it.
Right.
Completed. I don't want to do another bungee jump.
Okay.
That's it, at least for a while, right? And because you kind of experienced the fear, but you were able to overcome it that initial time, but now it's kind of there, and you know how intense it was, and that was your bungee jump, right? So now, you know, faced with another time of doing a bungee jump, it'll take me significant kind of peer pressure essentially to just get it done, right?
Yeah.
But the same thing of say going to South America. The first time I went with you guys, I've been gone off to Colombia and then kind of, you know, kind of avoiding all the bad things that happened or that could have happened.
Yeah.
And I'd heard stories, you know, happen to other people. I was kind of very apprehensive of going back. And it took me, you know, kind of 4 years or however long it was to actually say, all right, fuck it, I'm going to go back there. And now going back with, you know, kind of going there, staying there for a whole year, traveling everywhere, and, you know, immersing myself, you know, even way further than when we were before. That now gave me the experience to know now, oh, okay, I can navigate that. Right.
Yeah.
So now I kind of have and now I think I have the fear in the right places. Like, you know, don't go here, don't do that, don't say that.
Yeah.
But also the experience to say, okay, you know, you can actually have a very good time, or, you know, even live a happy life there if you follow these kind of rules. Right. So yeah, it's kind of getting the taster for it, you know, can go either way. Right. Because, you know, it took me a while to really get the courage to even consider going back.
Yeah, wow. Okay.
Yeah, but now it's like fucking fine. Like I'll speak to anyone, and say, yeah, go to Colombia, mate. Totally cool. Like,
well, again, it's that you've you know you know from the outside looking in, you actually had that fear of going and doing it. You know, and do you know what? Gemma's mum said something very interesting to me. She said that often she feels the fear and just does it anyway. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, brilliant kind of mindset. That absolutely.
Yeah. You just feel the fear and you do it anyway. And that's what you did. You know, because it must have been quite a mental process to go through. I don't know. Do you want to talk a bit about like setting yourself up for it, like the idea, the like, okay, I think I might go and do that because I know there's going to be someone listening to this who really wants to travel, and yeah, just to maybe get inside the mind of a person who has traveled and who has taken that sort of leap of bungee jump faith.
I mean, it's funny that the exact kind of feeling the fear and doing it anyway, it was exactly what happened the first time.
Right.
So I was kind of like, you know, for whatever reasons I had, I was like, okay, I'm gonna leave these guys, and I think it's time. You know, I'd already been traveling for kind of 3 months with a group, and or at least one other person. I was kind of like, I was pretty scared of just going traveling in the first place. But me and Jack, who I traveled with, and another friend, Ivan, we were together for a month, and it was just me and Jack for 3.5 months in Southeast Asia. Like, kind of doing that initially was quite daunting. I'd never stayed in a hostel before, quite, I don't know. So I think that was probably when I was kind of realized that I'm probably a bit socially awkward and like kind of didn't really know how to interact with people or properly really, because I'd just been, studying quite hard in my, because I've been studying really super hard for my A levels. Managed to get at university, and then kind of at the other side of it, didn't really, I had my career path was pretty much set, and I was going to sit there and write software, right? So, I've been working so hard that I hadn't really kind of even thought about kind of what my social kind of interactions were with people. And only when I got out there, I kind of realized, or even maybe towards before, if I went traveling, that I actually don't have that much self-confidence, and I actually might, it's quite daunting. But eventually, I think got out there, and the thing when you travel to Southeast Asia, I think we picked that place first because it's kind of a lot easier to travel.
Yeah.
It's not the same as South America, which is still kind of well geared up for traveling, but nowhere near like Southeast Asia has a route.
Yes.
Right. So, but then I think, I think when you're traveling for so long, you just have so long to think about stuff and tell yourself shit that, perhaps is wildly blown out of proportion. And I think part of that was it as well. And I was kind of like, no, need to go off and do something crazy. And I really want to feel some adrenaline and really, I think I'm someone who kind of needs the constant stimulus.
And you do find out a lot about yourself when you spend that much time with yourself, because you've got so much time on your hands.
Even just fucking going on a long bus ride or just traveling, it just takes ages, and you just got hours to sit there and just think of, anything, like anything. And I think part of it just came to. I think literally part of it was just constantly needing stimulus and constantly needing to better myself, and that's like always, from the darkest hour to the kind of brightest day. That's always been what I'm trying to do. So when I got to South America,
hello. We're doing a podcast.
Is that on?
Yeah,
that's on.
We're literally recording a podcast.
Want to come say hello?
No.
Okay.
I'm just gonna look at you.
Okay.
We're talking about traveling.
Just talking about traveling. Savvas' girlfriend is into the room. The lovely Galena
I'm just like.
with some toast.
I can't take a bite because it says no grain on the wall.
However, that would take some movement to get over there,
It would take movement to get over there.
and a bit of balance.
Andrew told me you have been doing this for like hours.
Well,
Oh.
I literally have no idea.
How long are
What
we
time did
in?
you get home?
Like 10 minutes ago.
Oh, really?
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Why you get home so late? Did you finish at?
Oh, we're going for an hour and 40.
Oh, yeah.
We have that many things to say.
Yes,
again?
actually, yeah.
Quite a lot. Quite a lot. Could go on quite a while. No, I'm joking. Not that much longer, I don't think. Maybe not.
But why is that thing on?
Oh, so this is part of a YouTubey thing as well.
Oh, you're going to do YouTube.
Engage the kids,
Gonna have to get people seeing our ugly mugs.
Yeah, but no one will ever look at it. They will just
I hope not. I hope not.
You're not doing anything.
Yeah. No, but if you see someone talking, it could engage you more.
But that's far away.
It's getting the whole posture, isn't it?
Are you sure it's...
I hope so. Imagine. I do hope so. Hello.
I hope that's no interview.
No, you're safe. You're safe there.
Don't worry, I tied it up.
Obviously.
Yeah.
What is everything?
Some of it's in your drawer.
It's over there. Why are you lying?
Yeah, some of it's over there as well. Your stuff's in your drawer.
No, it's over there.
There was some stuff under the bags.
Something.
Oh yeah. No, but you go.
Okay. Where were we? Traveling. Traveling.
Yeah, going off traveling.
Going off traveling. Boys. A lot of time with yourself.
No, we were talking about before the reasons why I went off on my own,
Yes.
and then
Much you have the
essentially
courage to
that
do
was
it.
pretty much down to.
Southeast Asia was easy way to travel. Oh no, yeah, okay, yeah.
But it's pretty
Ireland.
much down to what Gemma's mum said, and kind of feeling the adrenaline is doing anyway.
Yeah,
That was
yeah.
literally it.
Mm.
And then, yeah, and then you kind of do get addicted to that. You kind
Mm.
of. It's the kind of thing where you have to have faith in yourself, and kind of when you travel, you have to kind of say, all right, well, I'm going to go and stay at this hostel. I don't know anyone,
Mm.
and maybe I'll make friends.
Mm.
Maybe I won't. And they're all wankers. Then that's fine. I'm just going to move on.
Yeah.
So yeah, but like literally, I met the best friends I've.
And that's something so beautiful about traveling is that you do meet people from such a wide variety of places
Yeah,
and from such different backgrounds, such diverse like people, different natures. Like, yeah, it's something that I 100% don't regret, and it's the main reason why I first went traveling was I've heard so many people over the years literally say these exact words. I wished I'd had.
Oh yeah.
I wished I'd had, So it's like, yeah, and I just don't regret it for the world. I think it was a fab thing to do. Because yeah, for so many different reasons. The fact you meet new people, the fact you try different things, you get the rush of adrenaline, like it's all engulfed in such a, I think, yeah, culture, all that sort of stuff. It's
Even the world now is so kind of global, as it were, right? That like just being ignorant of other people's cultures is just, it's just not kind of it's just not positive anymore. Like you can't connect with the same kind of, you can't always talk about having a cup of tea, you know what I mean?
right.
Or
right.
good old days. You can't talk
yeah.
about that because people don't have the same notion of the good old days as you.
Yeah, right.
So if you haven't kind of talked to a kind of broad set of people about that now and actually see what's like in their country before you see them in your country, right? Then you don't get an appreciation for how they are.
Yeah.
When my Colombian mate Martin, living here for kind of 6 months, and only when my mum kind of went over there, she went, I get it now.
Right. Cool.
I understand kind of why he is why he is. Like, he's got so much energy. He's so, he's just so positive, but he's so kind of, it's just a certain way about him, and you only get that once you actually go there and see him in his environment.
Right.
Whereas if you take him out and bring him here into dreary old London, you get a very different kind of,
that's so true.
you get a different color painted on the canvas. You know what I mean? Like,
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, when you see people in their environments they've grown up in and they've and yeah that they're around and they're part of, you do get a completely different view and aspect. Yeah, you're so right.
But probably the same way that if they came here and saw me in London living my day to day, they would think, oh, I can see why he's a bit flipping weird. It's the same thing. Yeah. I mean, you see the friends hang around with. You see, like. Kind of Martin understands there's two sides to me, right? There's like kind of more, there's like a Greek kind of family side and the kind of all that brings with it, like, career and job and all that kind of stuff. But there's also my kind of friend side, like you, Jack, those kind of people where I've been influenced in a totally different way.
Yeah, right.
And I never would have got that from my family. So he sees those kind of two sides. Whereas, whereas if he just, when he just met me, he would never have understood that. Right?
Yeah.
So,
yeah, I can remember when our Icelandic mate came to see us in the guy we met traveling in Asia, Styrma. He came to see us in London, and I think you're right. Actually, he might have got a different view of us when we brought him to Worley, and he definitely got a very very certain view. That's a very good point you make actually. And then actually flying to Iceland and seeing him in his in his sort of homeland, and experiencing that culture too, because that's also something that I got out of it, was that I met a guy from Iceland. I didn't even really know Iceland fucking existed, really.
Didn't know there were people in Iceland.
Didn't know people in Iceland. I thought it was just like, Ice, you know what I mean? But then no, to meet somebody from in Asia, to meet someone from Iceland, and then go see them in their natural sort of place was quite something. Because then again, literally from that initial meeting with someone, you then go to see their culture, which is something completely different as well from the British way of doing things. So yeah, I mean, there's so many benefits to traveling around the world.
Even just, I tell you what, even one of the biggest skills I think I picked up from traveling was is literally just being able to communicate with people that whose English isn't their first language, or even more specifically, communicate with people whose language I don't know, but I'm able to kind of tailor my speech in a way that I know they're going to understand, because I know that's kind of how their culture speaks English, right? Like, it's a subtle skill that many people don't have because they just haven't been exposed to it, haven't had to kind of, speak to a wide variety of people. Right.
I mean, it's a constant sort of like solving a puzzle, isn't it? It's a constant like jigsaw puzzle. It's constant like to and froing. Okay, I'll try a bit of that. It doesn't work. Okay, I'll try this.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
And it is trying. That's not working. So failing, and then okay, I'll try a different way. I'll try and make it work. It's a constant sort of jostle, and it's also something that takes you out of comfort. It's complete, because, I mean, it could be a whole other conversation on whether comfort is a good thing or a bad thing. Like just the idea of having a hot shower, I mean, that's very comfortable. Is it necessarily good for you? It's always like taking yourself out, and traveling completely takes you out of your comfort zone, because you're in a different culture. You're exposed to different things. Like completely takes you out of comfort. And in my eyes, that's where most of the learning and most of the development comes from. Is by removing the element of comfort and actually, diving into something that you don't know.
The one. So when you talk about comfort, the one advice I give someone. So if anyone's listening who's thinking of going traveling and maybe picking a destination or whatever, right? Pick a traveling kind of place where you have genuine interest in that culture, or one in which you have no idea about the culture at all, which was my case in Colombia and South America, for example. And don't pick one where the kind of traveling route is just kind of party and bucket,
Malia on sea.
What were those things? The bucket in Thailand or whatever. There's something to, you can get that kind of out of your system, but also make sure you experience the culture of the place you've actually gone, and don't just go traveling to say, I met a bunch of kind of, other people with the exact same social background as me from, just other kind of places around the world. That's not what it's about, right?
I met someone from Willesden.
I tell you what, it's great after kind of 5 months where you meet someone who's like, that person from London, they know exactly what I'm talking about. They listen to exactly the same stuff. They're missing the exact same things from home.
But you would not have bumped into them because London's such a big city, and you got your mates here that you're comfortable with, but you put yourself out of comfort and you met someone new from London.
But also it gave me, so I'm one of the biggest I don't know. I always just talk a lot of crap about kind of how British food isn't that bad, right? And it's kind of thing where you just go away and you come back and you kind of learn to appreciate things in a kind of different way. And it's the same thing about, London, and even safety, and like you can walk around the street at night, or certain ways of speaking to people, and like British humor and all these kind of things where you kind of take those things for granted when you're here. But when you're traveling and you find out that in Colombian there's actually no such thing as a pun. And you think, so how do you guys get a joke around here, right? you have to learn their humor, but you realize the puns are fucking brilliant. So yeah, I mean, those kind of the appreciation of home, like, and one thing I got of like coming back from, tell you what, living in Medellin and coming back to London, you get a massive appreciation for how mollycoddled and great everything is. in terms of the fact that you can literally just walk out on the street and pretty much everything's going to be okay, right? Whereas out there, like, if I wanted something to happen to me, all I had to do was literally just walk into the right area. And that could have been just leave my house.
Yeah, after say 6 o'clock in the evening.
On a Sunday morning, that was one of the most dangerous times. 10 a.m., 11
Really?
a.m. That is literally frightening.
Wow.
Yeah. So you really do get appreciation for it. So I mean, I'm not saying we should be exposing this place for what it is, but I think you should know how privileged you are to be where we are.
Oh yeah.
And not kind of think, oh, we're fucking shit, I'm just gonna leave.
In essence, get out of your comfort zone, go traveling, try something new, try something different, take a risk. Because then you know, if you do not spread your wings, you don't know how far you can fly. That was on a little bit of a card that someone I think yeah.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Like a gift card?
I think so.
Oh really? That's far out,
Pretty profound, eh?
Yeah.
Righto. I think we could probably
I'm getting hungry. I don't know about you.
stop it off there. Yeah, I think so. Thank you very much for doing this, Savvas. I really appreciate it.
Thank you, man.
And also, I think we should definitely, beyond this, talk about the idea of doing we spoke before about doing the just putting it out there thing.
Oh yeah.
Cause
I tell you what, I need to run them by you. But I've got some good ideas for that.
because I mean, we could do this conversation where it keeps going, or we could have a topic that we talk about. But I think making this a regular thing would be of huge benefit to me, to everyone, to people that listen, whatever it is. What'd you say? Not to everyone.
So Galina's got a lot of my I'm just putting it out there things that she's occasionally disputes
Okay,
strongly.
good. That's what we need. A bit of like
But
synthesis.
yeah, well we'll talk about it. Yeah,
Cool. All right.
Not many, no, not many.
Just a couple.
Normally it's greeted with what? No, why would I do that?
You don't need to wipe your ass after you've had a shit.
I'm just
don't-
putting it out there. But you don't need to wipe your ass after you do shit.
Savvas, thank you very much.
Why you have a bidet?
You see? Okay, yeah.
Bum gun.
Bum gun.
Bum guns are great.
Yeah.
Do you know, I actually used one of those the other day.
Really? Well,
Yeah.
where?
It was down in Lewisham. I was staying with some friends, and
They got one.
They got bum gun. Yeah.
Are they Indian? Or,
Yes,
or
yeah.
They're actually Indian. Really?
They're
Oh,
the person they're staying with is of, I think it's Indian or Pakistan. I'm not too sure.
yeah, right, okay.
I think it's Indian. Yeah. And they got bum
Really?
gun.
Yeah.
I was literally like, memories. And I was like, is it going to be too hard? I'm not too sure. But,
I never got on with a bum gun, I must say, but
No?
I think I was just being a squeamish 20-year-old.
Yeah,
20-year-old, yeah.
What do you mean there's no toilet paper?
Yeah, and I was just too dumb to carry it around with me as well, so I just had to hold it in.
Yeah. don't ship it through months.
Easier said than done in Thailand.
So this has been delightful. Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
I think the sun's on my side today. I got a lease of life, I feel okay. Need to call around, get them all out, jump in the car and get on our way. Cause there's love and the strength in numbers. They can try, but they're never gonna run us down, down. Speakers loud, it's like we're on a come up. Fifth gear, but they're never gonna race us down, down. I'm alive on a high, blue skies. There's nothing better. Hands up, we're on a ride. Hold tight, we're laughing together. Ooh, we light it up, and ooh, we can't be stopped. And oh, can't hear us coming. Oh, we take off and keep it running. We take off and keep it running. Oh. Take a stop at the riverside, crack 'em open, pass around the light. Breathe it in and out, bring our guards down. Yeah, this is ours for the day and the night. Cause there's love and the strength in numbers. They can try, but they're never gonna run us down, down. Speakers loud, it's like we're on a come up. Fifth gear, but they're never gonna race us is coming. Oh,